Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are here with another video of IGCSE May-June 2024, Paper 4 Mathematics. In question number 5, A part, simplify this question. 25x power 6 3 by 2. You have to distribute this power 3 by 2 among these two terms. 25 can be written as 5 power 2 3 by 2, x power 6 3 by 2. After cancellation, you will get the answer 5 power 3 x power 9. 5 power 3 means you have to multiply 5 3 times by itself. 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. So you will get 125 x power 9. This was a quite simple question from algebra. Now let's move towards the second, which is basically a B part of this question. These are the first 5 terms. These are the first 5 terms of the sequence. What he is asking from you, you have to find out the nth term of this particular sequence. As we know that this is a geometric sequence. So to find out the nth term of geometric sequence or progression, geometric progression can also be used by examiner in term of sequence. The general formula is an is equals to a1 r power n minus 1. Here a1 is the first term. Substitute the value of a1 over here. Base r is the ratio of the terms. 6 by 1 you will get 6, 36 by 6 you will get 6, 216 by 36 you will get 6. So substitute the values over here. 6 power minus 1. Combine the powers, minus 1 plus n minus 1. So it will be 6 power n minus 2, which is basically nth term of this particular sequence. In part number C, he is asking you to expand this expression and simplify it. First of all, you have to multiply these two brackets. Afterward, you will use this bracket in order to get your final answer. X multiplied by x will be x square, then minus 3x plus 4x minus plus will be minus 12, 3x minus 1 will be written as it is. Now simplify these two terms. Minus 3x plus 4x will be x. Now you have to multiply these two brackets. X square into 3x will be 3x cube minus x square, 3x square minus x, 12, 3 times 36x minus will be plus 12. Now solve these two terms and these two terms together. You will get 3x cube plus 2x square minus 37x plus 12. This is the final answer after simplification, part number C of the question. Now let's move toward part number D. In part number D, in first part, he is asking from you to make the expression like this. Now, he is asking you to simplify this expression, and while he has given you the answer as well, you have to make this expression like this one. Simply, you have to take the LCM over here. Here the LCM will be x minus 2. So, I am taking x minus 2 as LCM, or I have to multiply this LCM with 3x plus 5, x minus 2 plus 7, while this is x. Now, simply multiply and get the answer. What you will be having? 3x square minus 6x plus 5x minus 10 plus 7, or multiply this with this x square minus 2x. Now shift the term from right to left and simplify. 3x square minus x square will be 2x square, minus 6 plus 5x will be minus 1, and this will be added over here. So we will get the answer plus x, 10 minus 7 will be minus 3 is equals to 0. So after simplification this, you will get the answer like 2x square plus x minus 3. This was quite simple question as answer was given by examiner himself. In part number 2 of question number D, solve by factorization. You have to solve this by factorization. As you know that this is quadratic equation or second degree equation. You can use the 3 approaches, but here you are restricted by the examiner to use the factorization. So I have to factorize this. For factorization, I'm going to make the factors of these. I have to separate this middle term in order to get the 6. What I have to get? I have to get the product as 6 and sum as plus 1. So I will separate this middle term as plus 2 this middle term, this can be factorized as minus 3 is equals to 0. plus 3x minus 2x. So what I am getting over here, 2 into 3 will be 6 and plus minus will be plus. So this is the factors. So take the common 2x, x minus 1, take 3 as common, x minus 1 equal to 0, x minus 1, 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Either x minus 1 is equal to 0 or 2x plus 3 equal to 0. Here you will get the answer of x is equals to 1 or x is equals to minus 3 over 2. This was basically a solution. 2x here plus x plus 3. Let's move toward the next question, that is basically part number E of question number 5. What is asking you? A solid cylinder with base radius. Radius is x and the height is 3x. The total surface area of a cylinder is same as the total surface area of a solid hemisphere. There are basically the two things. One is solid cylinder and other is solid sphere. But the total surface area of both the figures are same as given by the examiner. And radius for solid cylinder is x, whereas the radius for hemisphere is 5y. What is asking from you? He is asking to make this expression x square is equal to 75y square by 8. Since we know that, here we are going to use logic like this. 2 pi r square. I'm discussing left side for solid cylinder, right side will be discussed for solid hemisphere. 2 pi r h. This is the total surface area of solid cylinder. 2 pi r square plus pi r square. This is for sphere. Now you have to substitute the values over here. 2 pi, whereas this thing is for cylinder, so the radius is x, so it will be x square. 2 pi x and the height is 3x. For right side, I'm discussing the right side for solid hemisphere, so I have to take the value of radius r should be 5y whole square, 5y whole square. Now simply I have to simplify it. It will be 8 pi. This is 2 pi x square. It will be 6 pi x square. So total answer will be 8 pi x square. What will be the answer over here? 5 square will be 25. 25 into 2 will be 50. 50 pi y square and 25 pi y square. You will get 75 pi y square. Cancel the pi with pi and simplify it to get your answer as given by examiner, 75 y square by 8. This was quite easy question because this was formula based question given by examiner. Let's move toward question number 6. In this question he has given you figure like this. ABCD is quadrilateral. This is the quadrilateral over here. This is given by examiner. This is quadrilateral with AB as 10.4. This is mentioned in a figure 10.4. Furthermore, AD is 6.5, which is also mentioned. Angle BAD is 64 degree. This is of mention over here. Angle BDC means angle should be mentioned at the middle point, that is D, that is 26. And the angle BDBC. DBC is 42, which is mentioned over here. What is asking from you in part number A? You have to find BD. Which is BD? BD is this line. 9.55. Show that BD is 9.55, correct to 2 decimal places. It means you have to make the calculation to find out BD while the answer is given by examiner itself. First of all, if we see over here, we will apply law of cosine over here. Here we have to use law of cosine. So it should be done in a very careful manner. BD whole square will be equals to 10.4 square plus 6.5 square minus 6.5 10.4 cos of angle between these two values. What I have done over here, I am finding this one. Okay, while you are having this triangle ABD, you have to find BD. So you have to use law of cosine, as this is not the right angle, so you can't use trigonometric ratio. Therefore you can use law of sine or law of cosine. So I'm using law of cosine over here. I have to find BD over here. So the rest of two sides will be in a square manner, while the angle should be used which is in between these given line, that is 64. After calculating you will get the answer, whereas BD square is equals to 91.14. Now take the square root on both sides. So BD will be 9.55 centimeter. This is already given by examiner. Let's move toward question number B, part number 1. In part number 1, he says show that the angle BCD is 112. It means you have to show the angle which is formed at point C, which is over here. Its value is 112 degree. The question is quite simple. For this, you have to use this triangle, as we know that the sum of interior angle of triangle is always 180. So let me call this as X. So the sum of 26, 42 and X should be equals to 180. So X plus 26 degree plus 42 degree is equals to 180 degree. X is equals to 180 minus 26 minus 42. So here you will get the answer 112 degree. It was quite simple, as I have used the theorem from practical geometry. In part number 2, he is asking to calculate CD. This is CD. So you can use law of sine over here. Law of sine can be used. CD by sine of 42 degree is equals to BD by sine of 112 degree. Just look at over here. 112 degree. Where is CD? This is CD. You have to use the angle opposite to it. While taking BD, you have to take the angle opposite to it, that is 112. Substitute the values to get your answer. CD, value of BD is already calculated over here, 9.55 by sine 112 degree multiply sine 42 degree. So after calculating this on your calculator, you will get 6.89 cm. This was basically the value of CD which the examiner was asking from you. In part number C, he is asking to find out the shortest distance from D to BC. Actually AB, shortest distance. We have to draw the line over here, and you have to understand this thing, that the shortest distance is always a perpendicular distance. It means you have to draw the perpendicular over here. Let me draw it over here. He is asking you to take AB and point D. So this is point D while this is AB. So you have to drop the perpendicular over here. This is perpendicular. Whenever you drop a perpendicular, here the angle is 90, here it is also 90. Okay, what we have to find? We have to find this shortest distance. Let me call this distance as H. This is H. Okay. Now I have to take this triangle separately. Let me call this point as M. So I will take the triangle which is basically DAM. M, here it is 90, here it is 64 degrees, and here it is 10.4. I have to find BD, sorry, DM. So I will use trigonometric ratios as this is right triangle. So sine of 64 people, this whole figure is, distance is denoted by H. Some people have, while this is also given in question 6.5. So the value of H will be 6.5 multiply sine of 64 degree. So here you will get the answer as 5.84 centimeter. This was quite easy question. One logic you have to keep in your mind, that was the perpendicular distance is always the shortest distance. Let's move toward question number 7 of IGCSE May June 2024 paper 4 mathematics. In question number 7, part number A, he is asking you to solve this linear equation. This is quite simple question from algebra. 3x, shift this minus, it will be plus over here. 6, shift this 8 from left to right, it will be plus 8. This is 5x, and this will be given as 14. 5, this is actually 7, sorry, this is 14. So x will be given as 2. So it's quite simple question. Now in part number B is asking to factorize this. First of all, you have to keep one thing in your mind. Factorization means you have to split the question in multiplication form. So take the common aware, that is 5a. So here it will be 2a plus 1. This is a complete factorization of this given question. Factorize fully this one. First of all, you have to write this as 2x minus 3, and this 9 can be written as 3 square. So this can be factorized by formula, which is quite simple. You have to a plus b, or you have to write this over here a minus b. So what is the answer over here? It's 2x, and here it will be 2x minus 6. Now take 2 as common from this factor, x minus 3. So what will be the answer? 4x x minus 3. Question summary is quite simple as it is from algebraic section. Let's move toward part number D of the question. In this question, he has given uf of x and g of x. He is asking in part 1 to find the value of this particular function at 4. It means simply you have to substitute 4 in place of x. So f at 4 will be given as 1 over 4 into 4 minus 1, that will be 16 minus 1, it will be 1 by 15. It's a quite simple question. Now in part number 2, he is asking to find out the composition, and after finding the composition you have to replace x with 2 as it's mentioned over here. So first of all, you have to make composition. This is g. You have to put 2 in g in place of x. So this expression will be changed like this way. Now again you have to put in function g, but in place of x you have to put 3 power square, that is basically 9. 3 into 3 will be 9. So put this over here, that will be 3 power 2. So it can be written as 3 power 9, or further it can be simplified and calculated to get the answer 19683. In part number 3, he is asking you to calculate the value of k while he has given you a certain condition. He wants you to solve x function g and f in such a way that you have to put x in place of k in place of x in function g, whereas you have to put 7 in place of x in function f. So g k will be taken from here, it will be 3 power k, while as for f of 7 you have to simply substitute 7 in place of x in question function f. 4 into 7 minus 1, 3 power k will be 28. 28 minus 1 will be 27. 3 power k, it can be written as 3 power 3. 3 into 3 into 3 will be 27, and while you shift this term and numerator you will get minus 3. Cancelize the bases, you will get the answer of k as minus 3. This part was quite simple as this part is from algebraic section. In the next question, that is question number 9, he has given you this shape. What he has given you, OAB is a sector of a circle. OAB is a sector of a circle, while the circle is having center as O and the radius is 17, which is given as this one. Let me check that out. 17 is actually from here to here, I think so. Yes, the total distance is 17. OCD. OCD is a sector of a circle with center O, radius is 10, that is given over here. OCA. This is OCA and ODB are the straight lines that also mentioned over here. And the angle OAB is 60 degree. OAB is mentioned over here, that is 60 degree. The perimeter of a shaded portion. This is the shaded portion. ABDC. ABDC is a shaded portion. Can be written in the form of A pi plus 6 centimeter. You have to find out the values of A and B respectively. The question is quite simple. You have to work a bit on it. First of all, the perimeter. Perimeter. This is a shaded area. It means you are having 4 lengths over here, which can be added together in order to find out the perimeter of this shaded region. First of all, AB is an arc. Here it is, length of AB, that is an arc. CD is also an arc, area, a length of CD. DB and CA are the straight lines. Here BD is a straight line. Also AC is a straight line. Now you have to calculate length of this arc AB, that can be given by the formula 60 by 360 multiply 2 pi r. The r for AB is given as 17. So you have to put here 17. Now you have to work on this CD, that is also an arc. 60 by 360 multiply 2 pi, but for this you are having 10 as radius, which is mentioned in a question, that is 10. Now you have to focus over here. If this total length is 17, up to here it is 10, so what will be from this point to this point? This will be simply the difference of these two terms, that is 7. If this is 7, this is also 7. So you have to add 7 twicely in this part. Now simplify it. You will get 17 pi after calculating all the things in your calculator. It will be 10 pi by 3 and it will be 14. Now you have to take the LCM, or you simplify these two terms first. 10 plus 17 will be 27 pi by 3 plus 14, it will be 9 pi plus 14. You have to calculate the value of A and B over here, while the question has taken the form like this. So on comparison, the value of A will be 9, whereas the value of B will be 14 over here. This was a simple question. Now let's move toward the next part. That is basically a B part. In part number 1, he has given you a hexagon, six-sided figure. But what you have to focus over here, that is a regular hexagon. It means that if it is x, then all the sides are equals to x centimeters. The area of the hexagon is given by examiner as 12.7 centimeter square. In part number 1, he is asking you to show that length of one side of hexagon is 7 centimeter. You have to find out the value of x, which is actually 7, as already given by examiner, correct to one decimal place. So here what you have to draw, if you draw the line like this, you will break this hexagon in basically three figures. Two are the triangles and one is rectangle. So the total area of this hexagon, basically regular hexagon, will be equals to area of two triangles plus area of one rectangle. What we were doing over here, so the area of two triangles, here if we substitute the formula for area of triangle, that will be equals to area of this regular hexagon is given by examiner 12.7. Area of two triangle will 2, 1 by 2, base is x into x, while the interior angle of regular hexagon can be found over here like n minus 2 by n multiplied by 180. So it will be 6 minus 2 by 6 into 180. That will be equals to 120 degree. So this interior angle is 120 degree. This interior angle is 120 degree. All of the interior angles are equals to 120 degree. So substitute the value over here. While the area of rectangle is length into width. Length into width. Width. This is the width value of width. This is length actually. Length into width. So this is x. So what we have to do over here, 12.7 x square 0.866 lx 127 12.7 0.866 x square. What you have to do over here, you have to calculate the value of L actually. So the value of L can be found in this way. If this hole is of 120 degree, when you bisect it, it will be left with 60 degree. Okay, here it will be of 90. If I call the length from this to this point as y, so I can easily take the triangle out of it. I should take over here, should be like this. This is x, this is 60 degree, this is y, this is 90 degree. So apply the ratio over here, that is sine of 60, that will be y over x. Sine of 60 is always equal to square root 3 by 2 y over x. So the value of y is x square root 3 by 2. But in order to get the value of L, that will be from this to this. If this is y, from this to this it is also y. So L can be written as y plus y, or you can write it 2y. Now substitute the value over here. 2 into x square root 3 by 2. Cancel it. So after multiplication you will get the answer 1.731x. So substitute this value of x over here. So you will get 1.731x. Now take the common. 12.7, take, this will be x square. 1731x and x already over here, so it will make x square. So take x square as common. 0.866 plus 1.731. After solving it and dividing with 12.9, you will get x square to be 49.01. Now take the square root on both sides, so x will be 7.007, but you have to calculate it up to one decimal place, so it will be x is equal to 7 centimeter. This was actually the question. Now let's move towards the next part, which is basically part number 2. In this question, he is saying the hexagon is a cross section of portion of prism of length 10 centimeter. This is the length 10 centimeter, while this was the length of side of hexagon, and the area is also given by examiner. So what is asking you? He is asking you to find the volume of prism. You have to calculate the volume of this prism. Volume can be calculated area of base into height. Simple formula based question. Area of base, area of cross section, multiply base. Area of cross section, it's already mentioned in a figure, 127.3, while the base is 10. So after multiplying it, you will get 127.3 centimeter cube. This was formula based question. Now let's move toward the next part, which is part number B. Calculate the surface area of prism. You have to calculate the surface area. Surface area can be calculated in this way: twice time of area of cross section. Just assume it. Let me show you in figure. If this is a front part, the back side will also be the same, na? Both the side. If this is the shape, while this one also will be the shape, so its shadow will be at the back side. Means you will be having twice time of this area. One at front and one will be at the back of the figure. Plus you are having 6 phases. So 6 into area of each phase. Area of each phase, as this is hexagon, so it is having 6 sides. Okay, now simply put the values over here. 127.3, area of base will be 10 multiplied by 7. You have to multiply 7 with this 10. So after calculating, you will get 674.6 centimeter square. What you have to keep it in your mind in this question, that there are 6 phases, so you have to calculate the area of each phase and multiply the answer with 6 in order to get the area of all the 6 sides. While there were 2 sides as well, that are one at the front and one at the back. So this was the whole question related to question number 9. Let's move toward the next question. The next question is quite simple. In next question, he is saying you a point A has coordinates 6, 2 and point B has coordinates 3, -4. In part number 1, you have to find out the coordinates of midpoints. First of all, find the midpoint. Midpoint can be calculated as the average 6 plus 3 by 2, 2 plus -4 by 2. So here it will be 9 by 2. 9 by 2 will be 4.5, and it will be -2. -2 by 2 will be -1. This is quite simple question. Calculate the length of AB. Here you have to find out the length of AB. That can be calculated this way: 3 minus 6 whole square plus -4 minus 2 whole square. So here it will be 3 3 square will be 9, 6 6 square will be 36, and it will be 45. In next question, he is asking to find out the equation of the line is given by this. Find the gradient. First of all, you have to keep it in your mind. The gradient form of the line is y is equal to mx plus c. So this you have to find m over here. You have to make this equation like this. Separate the y from here. So 3y is equals to 12 minus 4x. Now divide 3 by both the sides. 4 by 3, that is 4 minus 4 by 3x. Now arrange according to this. Minus 4 by 3x plus 4. So what is the value after comparison with this one? So the m is equals to minus 4 by 3. This is basically the gradient of the given line. Find the coordinates of the point where the line L crosses y-axis. If the line is crossing the y-axis, it means your x coordinate is equals to 0. If the line is crossing x-axis, it means your value of y is equal to 0. But in this question, as you are having the line crosses y-axis, it means x is equal to 0. You have to put x is equal to 0 in this. So you will get 4 into 0 plus 3y minus 12 equals to 0. 3y is equals to 12. So y will be 4. So the coordinates will be 0, 4. This was quite simple question, but you have to remember over here, crosses y-axis mean put x is equal to 0. Line P is perpendicular. Line P is perpendicular. It means that if the line is L is this one, the line P should be like this. Perpendicular passes through point 65. This is the point from which the line P is passing. He is asking you to make the equation of line P in the form y is equal to mx plus c. As you know that the slope of or gradient of this L is given by, here it is m, that is minus 4 by 3. But this line is perpendicular. It means its slope m prime will be reciprocal and negative in symbol for from this one. No? This is the result basically. So you have to take reciprocal, that will be 3 by 4, and multiply this with another negative symbol. So minus minus will be plus. So the slope of this P will be m prime, that is 3 by 4. So here you have to use the equation y minus y1 m prime into x minus x1. What is the value of y1? y1 is 5 over here. M prime value is 3 by 4. Value of x1 is 6 over here. Simplify it. 4y minus 20, 3x minus 18, or simplify it, you will get 4y 3x minus 18 plus 20, 4y 3x plus 2. You have to make the form like this one. You have to separate the y. So divide this 4 in order to get the equation of line P, that is y is equal to 3 by 4x plus 1 by 2. Here what you have to keep in your mind, you have to find out the slope of perpendicular line. In next question, the examiner is asking you to find the stationary point. Justify the point minus 1 and 6 lies on a curve. This curve has derived from this function. Show that minus 1, 6 is stationary point. First of all, what you have to keep it in your mind, that stationary point is the point where the derivative, first derivative is 0. Okay? In order to show that this point is stationary point, you have to put this point in the right hand side of this equation and you have to show that the derivative is equal to 0. If the derivative is equal to 0, then the putting point will be stationary point, otherwise it will not be a stationary point. So simply substitute this value over here. Dy by dx minus 4, in place of x you have to put minus 1, in place of y you have to put 6. So minus 1 cube 9 minus 1 square plus 5, it will be plus 4 minus 9 plus 5. So 9 minus 9 will be 0. It's mean minus 1 and 6 is a stationary point of the curve as the derivative is equal to 0 at this point. Now let's move toward the next part. A different curve has equation. This is another curve. Calculate the gradient. Note over here, the gradient is always the first derivative. It's mean, in other words, he is asking you to find the first derivative of this equation. After calculating it, you have to put the values as well. So the derivative will be dy by dx to power in start power 1 less derivative of x will be 1 and derivative of 8 will be 0. So what is the answer over here? 6x square minus 6. Now you have to substitute the values as well. Dy by dx at x is equal to value of x is minus 2. You have to put minus 2 in the question. 6 minus 2 square minus 6. 4 into 6 will be 24. 24 minus 6 will be 18. This is basically the gradient of tangent of this particular curve at the point minus 2 and 2. Find the x coordinate of stationary point. You have to find out the x coordinate of stationary point, as I told you earlier in part 1, that the stationary point is always a point at which the first derivative is equal to 0. So you have to put the first derivative is equal to 0. First derivative of this equation is dy by dx 6x square minus 6. You have to put this is equal to 0. So take 6 as common, x square minus 1. So 0 by 6, x square minus 1. 0 is equals to x square minus 1. 1 is equals to x square. So take the square root. While taking the square root, you will get the answer. X is equals to plus minus 1. This is basically the x coordinates of the stationary point of the curve. Hopefully you have enjoyed the video. If you face any sort of ambiguity, you are always welcome in comment section. Keep us supporting. Take very good care of yourself. Thank you for watching the video.